Hey guys, what's up? And welcome to another episode of Brew and Build. Today we have some exciting stuff to get into. Just wanted to give you a brief update on the logging area of the Steampunk City. So, last episode we built up this guy, and I think, well, actually, it was a couple episodes ago, but we built this up. Looks very good. I've been working here getting these guys in, and I don't think you've actually seen this progress. So, all of these are in. Now I just have to get the interior roofs in, but other than that, I think there's some floors missing on all of them as well. So yeah, there's some floors missing and the actual logs are not there. But other than that, these are essentially done. So just got to get the wood to get the interior of the roof done, and then also get the inside here done. But all of the log piles are completed, and I think it looks much better now that we have some stuff here. This is a work in progress. Been trying to figure out what in the world to do with this, how we're going to cut these logs into big old logs, or well, cut the big old logs into these smaller wide logs. So I've been creating this, essentially it's that structure just on a much bigger scale. And as you can see, it goes all the way down. Down on this side, there is going to be just kind of like a sort of sitting area or something just to observe the world and to kind of like almost like a breaker room, if you will, just outdoor under the staircase. I did make a little tunnel that goes underneath here. So if there's need like easy access over there without having to go all the way around. Storage under here, just filled this all in. I think it looks good as well. And then to get on top, the staircase is right around this side. Now, I have not finished this as I've been trying to think through how to do this because this has to be open. I realized that after kind of making it. So I was going to start doing this. And then I realized, well, then that log cannot come down. And so gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna do this. So far, I don't think it looks that bad without a roof. So I may just figure out how to do these sides a little bit more interesting to make it a little more decorative and more polished looking. I may put some like iron blocks on top, but I don't know. And then we've got the log here, so it gets kind of put here and then it goes through and you can see the separation here. This is kind of like a guillotine type of thing. So we're going to have a roof starting on this pillar. We're going to have a roof that goes over and kind of covers where the people would be standing. These are like pull ropes. So they would kind of release and it would go down and cut and then they could pull it back up. And essentially it's just a means of cutting this down very simply. And then we've got this cut right here. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it matches the length of those types of logs. And then it would get cut up. Now, this is the best I could do because this is even. Can't really actually cut it in the middle. So that is the best that I could do just to get it. So I'm going to make a big wood pile of just spruce logs here. And I think overall, it looks very nice. Very happy with how it has turned out. Definitely adds a bit of flair to this area because it's like now it's filled out. Also, random update on the textures. As many of you know, the texture pack released. Just a quick update for any of you who didn't see the video or didn't know or didn't, I guess, watch it or anything. So for any of you who have it or want to have it, it's available on my Patreon. Yes, we have a Patreon now. It has been fully established. I have released the texture pack on there. You can go ahead and go on over there. Link is in the description and on the channel kind of banner page as well. And there's already been a release and an update. So I updated the iron to be back to this blue texture, and I gave it a bit of a facelift, so it's a little bit different. And I really like actually how it looks now. It's a touch bluer, and it really leans into that like blue iron texture, and I actually really like it. I'm really glad we converted back to it. So speaking of textures, We're going to go into the texture world just to take a look at two new ones and get a little bit of a talk through there because I did some alterations along with the iron. And what we're going to be doing today, for any of you who don't really care about the texture pack, feel free to skip and go to the next portion. We're going to be going over that way where the new area is going to be that we kind of talked about before, where the nether portal is going to be. I want to get building up kind of a house there to establish the style. So I'm going to gather all this stuff up, maybe gather some more materials, and then we're going to go on over there. So let's go, while I'm doing this, let's go into the texture pack world and just take a quick look at some new things. Okay, we're in our texture pack world. As you can see, this is all of the things. Actually, our texture pack is pretty small. It doesn't change a ton of things. Changes a decent amount, but pretty small. This is the most recent update that I released. Wanted to show you this just for any of you who are interested. TNT has been changed. I've made it more of a dark oak variant, altered the text on it as well to be white, and kind of have like a drop shadow on it to make it look a little bit more like apparent in 3D. And I really like what this looks like. There is a red variation as well, as you can see. I'm very happy with the result here. And interesting enough, I actually did not have to alter this at all besides the color because the barrel texture is pretty much the basis of this. So it's actually not that hard of a texture to recreate. Now the big stuff. So as you see, all of the iron now is finally updated to be the appropriate color. We've got the iron block here that is, as you saw in our world, a bluer texture, and no longer that awful one that I tried out. That was just really bad. So this is a new, I guess, new revived texture. I altered the internal portion a bit and made it a little bit more unique and kind of, I don't know, it stands out a bit more, adds a little bit more of a bevel, and I really like it. The door, I just altered the color to be closer to this. It was a little bit more on the gray side, and now it matches a bit more. The armor is also been edited and is now the blue iron you see here, along with all of the tools. The helmet there also, I worked on getting a little bit of a more unique helmet shape rather than kind of the like bean looking thing that they call the helmet texture. I think this is a little bit more accurate to what this portrays. I may alter this a bit and add an actual like side bit here for our helmet. I'm not sure. Haven't really thought about it, but maybe. And then finally, the diamond armor is actually a work in progress. I haven't actually tried it out, but I think it looks pretty good. I do like the color of it. It's pretty much, I don't like the vibrancy that the current one has. The current diamond armor texture is just really, really vibrant and in your face. And I wanted to kind of replace the iron armor type of color. And so I may go like lean in this direction for the diamonds. I may bring a little bit more color back into this, but currently I do think I like this. So we're going to give it a shot, see what happens. And yeah, give me your opinions down below on all of these textures and say welcome on back to the iron texture because I know a good amount of you thought that it was far better. And I agree. It is far better than that atrocious thing that I called a texture before. All right, that is all the texture updates. So let's get back into our world. All right, so I've been doing some work here in this little area that we're going to be building in for a little bit now, and I actually have quite a good idea as to what I want this place to kind of look like, I think. So I've been doing quite a bit of foundational work, actually more than I was intending on doing, but I think it's going to be good. I really wanted to just kind of get started and really start laying this out. So I want multiple tiers on this. So this is going to be essentially a small town that is kind of built around this big mountain, which is going to be a pretty gargantuan nether portal. I'm not going to get into that today, and we're probably going to try and build up some of this stuff first before we get into this, because I need to do some planning, marking things out and stuff, and I just haven't gotten around to it. This island may actually have to go. I'm going to try my best to make it so it doesn't have to. But if it does, then that's okay. Maybe we'll build up another one or something. I'm not sure. We also have that one and that one to work off of. And that one probably I'm going to make into like a almost like a little island lighthouse type of thing, maybe a bridge going across there. I don't know. But as you can see, we have a little bit of an area here. There's going to be sort of I'm thinking a house right there. This is all going to be somewhat of a dock-esque type area. Not really sure what is actually going to go here. We've got that big jut out here, which you can see has a little smoker. That is my current temporary home. Oh, also random. So, I don't know if any of you know anything technical about Minecraft, but we're currently not using Optifine. We have the logical zoom mod installed, and that I just wanted to have the zoom key. But my Minecraft world does not like Optifine right now. I actually get horrible lag spikes, and it's really just not good. So I was wondering, do any of you know what the problem could be? It's really odd. I don't know why. Loading is super slow. I can see like chunks won't load in for probably 10, 15 seconds, and they'll just kind of like intermittently start loading in and stuff, and it's just really, really annoying. And so regular Minecraft is actually smoother for me than like Optifine Minecraft, which is odd. Usually it's opposite of that. Currently we're running regular Minecraft with the Logic Geek Boy Logical Zoom mod. Really cool mod. Basically, this is all it does. Obviously, there's some weirdness with it sometimes, but not that big of a deal. I just wanted to be able to do this when we are actually like talking here. I like to do that for you guys so you can get a better view of things without me having to go in to my options and do that with the FOV. So all that aside, this is what we've got going currently. There is a let's actually go over there. Ooh, ugh, I'm trying to get away from wearing my elytra a bit while we're over here because we don't need it, and I've been wearing it quite a bit, and I just don't really feel like wearing it right now. I also want to get used to the new diamond texture on the armor, so just trying to get used to that as well. But I've got this current area here, which this is all going to be eventually up to this level, this stone level. It may fall off down there. There may be like a gate or something. I'm not really sure. Haven't really thought that far out, but I want this area to be up this high. So the water is actually like you drop down a bit. And this is probably going to be some houses and stuff back here. Essentially, I want houses just kind of lining this bay area. And I think that'll be very cool, make it very interesting. I want them also to work with the landscape as best as possible. So we're going to have some back here, and then we've got this area here. I want to have some houses on top of this hill here as well. I think it's going to be good. Essentially, this is going to be a big storage area, and man, that portal is going to look sick when it's right there. Oh, it's going to look super cool. There's going to be stuff like maybe houses and stuff on that building as well. Or not building, that mountainside right there. And I think it's going to be good. So this is going to be probably a house here, a smaller house here, or we're going to build storage into this and make kind of a warehouse. That may actually be what we do. We may tear this down and make this all just kind of a big flat wall. I don't really know. This is the current house. I just thought this looked pretty cool. Looked like it could be a unique little stone mountain. And I actually really like what it looks like. I didn't do anything besides slap a few windows in. Inside is actually done. And as you can see, got all of my storage here on this wall, anything and everything we may need. I have this kind of fun little furnace here as well. Has, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 12 or so furnaces. And has some lava with campfires underneath. I think they look very cool. And then bookshelves up above. I don't know, just wanted to have a nice, interesting place here. And then going on back here, this is going to be kind of where a staircase is, I think, to get on top of this area. This is going to be where we're building today. I still need to fill out all of this grass to be where I want it. And then it's going to kind of wrap around here, and we're going to be building up a house here in this grassy area. I don't really know. I think this may go along here, and then we may flatten this, or we may flatten this. I haven't really thought through exactly where other houses are going to go. I just want the first house to go right around this area. So I'm going to be filling this in. Now, for this house, I want to experiment with a building idea. So I went ahead and made a pretty much automatic pumpkin farm, and it's been running for not too long. So we have 53 there, and then okay, so 3.5 stacks of pumpkins, and it's probably been running for I don't know, not very long, maybe 30 minutes to an hour. And so that's pretty good. This is done by Nimbom, I think. I think I watched a video of his. And so I'm not going to go over it or anything. I'll try and remember to put a link in the description, but just wanted to have a quick pumpkin farm that is going to be useful for all the buildings in this area, because the roof style is going to be interesting, is all I will say. We also have a nice flower forest on the other side here, which is going to be interesting to, like, we may make a flower farm over here just to have one, because we don't have one right now. But this area looks pretty cool. I really like, actually, the area that we've picked outside of just this mountain. It's actually a pretty cool area to build in. So I'm going to go ahead and get this grass area laid out and kind of figure out where we're going to be putting this building. Probably chop these trees down and do a little bit of landscaping as well. And then we'll come back, and I'll try and have a frame done and do some building with you. Okay, so I have been laying out some more stuff, been having a good time, just kind of planning, figuring out what I want to do. So just a little bit more planning here. Going to have another section that is higher up for this little town area. This is actually going to probably end up being a little bit bigger of a town. You know me and wanting to make bigger things. So yeah, we may end up being here a little bit longer than I was anticipating, but I think it's going to be good. I really like the build style, so I'm really excited to get into it. As you can see, I have laid out something here. Let's take a little bit of a bird's eye view of it. And so you can see you got a little bit of a square here and have a little bit of a layout going. We are going to be building that up today, actually jumping right on into it. So what I want to do first is build up the foundation. Okay, I think that looks good. There's a few bits missing currently because I don't have the resources on hand. I'm going to have to fly back to the Steampunk city. But the idea is there's going to be brick walls in between each of these pistons. This is a very piston-heavy build style. And I really don't mind, because I mean, we have a lot of iron still left over. And pistons are a pretty cool block to build with. So now the goal is going to be this top portion. We're going to focus on getting the framework in. So what's going to be happening is we're going to make these types of pillars here along, and it's going to be stripped spruce wood. Now, one of the interesting things is I do not know what this is going to be. I have a test build of this made, but I don't really, I haven't actually seen what this looks like. Also, can you do this? Let's see, strip it, and then actually we'll need 4, won't we? There, 4. Can we do this? Okay, good. I couldn't remember if that was actually implemented or not. We're going to end cap these facing sideways with the logs, so they look like they're vertical on the sides, on this side, and sideways, so it looks continuous along this way. And so along each one of these is going to be a pillar like this. And so I'm going to do that all the way around, and then I may go ahead and do the framework as well for the second layer, and then I'll bring you back in for the roof portion, because that's really the bit that I want to focus on with you guys, because I think you'll all find it very interesting, and I think you'll actually really enjoy the end outcome of it. Actually, that doesn't really matter much because there's not going to be anything there, but I'm going to go sleep. So let me go ahead and get the framework built, and I'll bring you back in, because the roof is going to be really fun to build and a good lesson for you all who are wanting to get better at building. Okay, so some work has been done. Yes, I have been going a little ham bone on this build, and I want to build up this section of the roof with you because I've already done the opposite sides, and I thought we could do this, and that'll kind of finish this build out in terms of the roof. There's still some stuff I want to do to it. This is what the roof is going to be. This is the part that I thought y'all would find to be interesting. I want to experiment with working with gradients. I have seen this done before, and I wanted to kind of try my hand at it. I wanted to try and see how it's done and what makes a good gradient. And so this is one that I've kind of made myself, and I think it's good. I mean, it goes from sort of a reddish orange, just more red, to more of an orangey yellow. And this is like the closest you can get to a yellow before transitioning over. I think next would be like probably glowstone. I'm not really sure what would actually come next. We don't really have like a yellow orange. We kind of just go from orange to yellow. So maybe glowstone would be next. I'm not sure. But I thought this was a good gradient to kind of work off of. And yeah, this is what we're going to be working with. That's why we need the pumpkins, because I didn't have any. And so I wanted to find a way to get them. And well, I will say that pumpkin farm has way more than we actually need. So we're going to have a lot of pumpkins for trading, I guess. Okay, so I mean, first off, I guess I should say, you see what I've done on the sides here, just experimenting, adding in some different shapes and stuff. This now has a jut out to it, and I guess all of the framework. You haven't seen all the framework. It's been a few days. I've been actually trying to take my time with this and just build off camera, having fun without really trying too hard at recording and making sure all the steps are recorded. I think it's looking good. I like it. I'm really enjoying this part where it's got a little small jut out and it's kind of got this own little separate almost building here where it's a part of this bigger piece. I like that. We don't have to put like a window up there. We can actually have this little room. And I should say the insides all have floors currently. So this one has a floor. The staircase is going to be right here. This is where the second floor is going to be. And you saw the tower. Now, this doesn't have a roof yet, but you saw the tower. It has a complete roof as well. Windows will be on this floor. And then this is going to have a staircase, I think, or a ladder that goes all the way up to a top floor. And I think that's going to be good. I really do like how this build has turned out. So, as I said, what we're going to be doing is tackling the roof here, and I wanted to kind of get a good gradient going with you because this stuff is interesting. I'm definitely learning as I go. I've been trying to look at, like, B-Dubs has been taking this on, trying to do more of this type of stuff, and I think it's good. It's a really good thing to learn, especially if you've never done anything like this before. Like, usually our roofs are all one texture, and I think this is going to make it so much more interesting for us because, like, one texture is great and all, but all of these textures working together to make a really interesting roof is going to be so much nicer. There is one block that's a little difficult to work with. That's why there's andesite. It's the sand. The sand is a little difficult to work with, but that's okay because it's worth it. It is so totally worth it. So what I'm doing currently is I'm trying to begin the blend of the different colors because it's going to be going from red to more of an orangey yellow at the top. And so you have to think of how it's going to blend together and what it's going to look like in the end result. Now, this one, I'm trying to think of if I want to just do a block here. Sure, we can do that. Why not? Let's make it a sharp corner. If we want to put slabs in the center, we can. So what I'm going to do is just try and work out how this is going to blend, because we have to start bringing in, like, I've been using what I've already done as a guide. I did one side and I'm using that as a guide. So it seems like this level right here is still it's more of this terracotta than anything else. So let's add some more of this in just to make it really blend in together. And we're trying to make it more and more orange, like red orange, and get rid of the brick, I suppose, not bring in as much of the brick. So let's go ahead and bring that, and we're like transitioning away from this red color into the orange. Next level, we bring in the brighter oranges, and then we bring in the other oranges. And yes, I realize what I just said is potentially the most boring thing you've ever heard in your life. We're going to bring in more oranges on top of the oranges. What type of commentary is that? And there we have it. Now, one thing that I do think I need to work on just a little bit is getting this side, get the lighter stuff a little bit more into this level right here. I think it could do just a little bit more sort of blending right there. But other than that, I think it looks really nice. And so this is kind of what I've been trying to figure out what I want to do with this area. I want this area to be somewhat Steampunk City, as it is a shoot off of the Steampunk City, but I want it to be kind of like have its own flavor. I want it to be almost like it's a small town that was there that is adopting some of the steampunk style, but still staying kind of its own thing, if you will. And so, as you can see, I've been doing lots of planning, as we've talked about, figuring out sort of what I want to do with the color palettes of things like walls and all that stuff. I don't really know if this is what I want to do. I kind of just wanted to experiment a bit. Now, one thing that you're probably wanting, I guess, you know what? Let's take a look at this build in its entirety, because it isn't done. Obviously, we're missing some spots and stuff right here, but I wanted to show you what I've done up there. That's probably what y'all are most interested in beyond the gradient. So the gradient is just something I wanted to show you, kind of do on camera. I thought that was a fun thing to do, but let's take a look at the tower. So this tower was pretty inspired by BOO's tower in his Hermitcraft build. He has a tower in his house, one of his houses. Let's get up here. And so I was pretty inspired by how he did that. This one is I think it's a little bigger. It's not, his is a square, mine's more of a circle. So it's interesting to figure it out. But we've got sort of an interesting little pattern on the top there to make a little distinction between the body. Now I'm going to make some like little porches or jet outs along the way that are just like little stop offs that you can have that are coming out on this side right here, and then the side on the other side. I think that could be interesting. But that top was a little difficult to figure out, because I wanted to make a cone roof that isn't like super pointy. Like I've seen a lot of cone roofs that are real pointy and go like way high in the sky, but I didn't want that. Let's take a look at it over here. So it doesn't look, honestly, like amazing from this angle. I think what I want to do now, I'm going to be adding some stuff on the sides here. I want to add a hangover somewhere, maybe on this side, to add a little bit of flair on this level. But I think the thing that's going to make this really sell this is I want to add stuff, as I said, on these sides here, just to make the tower not feel as exposed as it is. I think in hindsight, and for future builds that will have little turrets like this, I think what I will do is make it so the turret is a bit more in the building. Right now it's like kind of on the corner of these two buildings connecting, and I think it would be better suited if it was actually like shoved more inside the build. So it really seems like it's jutting out of this entire building rather than this building itself is jutting out of the tower. I think that's kind of where the error is. So you live and you learn. It's not like my least favorite thing, not my favorite thing. I like the tower on its own. I think it's pretty cool on its own. But for this build, it isn't amazing. But I'm happy with how it turned out. I think it's pretty cool. So I was going to continue building and try and really finish this out, but I think that is going to have to do it for this episode. I think I've spent enough time on this for the episode, and I kind of want to just take the time and build it out some more off camera and come back to you maybe next episode and show you the end product. I really want to make this a unique and interesting building. I want this area to be interesting and unique and kind of be more fleshed out in terms of what's on the buildings themselves. So I think that's going to do it for this episode, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. We've actually done quite a bit. I've done a good amount. We have a little house right there, laid out the plans for part of this little town area, built up the first building, made a pumpkin farm. It has been pretty productive. And yeah, I think it's going to be good. So if you guys like the video, leave a like in real life. If you like the build, like the video as well. And if you learned anything new, of course, let me know down below. Tell me what you think about the gradients, if there's anything you think I could do to improve it or I could do to add to this area. I would love to hear from you. So thank you so much, guys, and I will see you in the next episode.